That's when the light bulb moment.
Yeah, the light bulb.
That's when the light bulb moment went on. Yeah, I had an said to me, Reggie, stop telling me about the idea and do something about it. Failure is not final. Remember to celebrate the times you decided not to give up. It's as simple as it is. Just try.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Business Motivation Podcast. If you did like that intro, it was done by this wonderful gentleman here, Tyrone Scarlett himself. He is the founder of Jobs IQ and Vivid Ad Marketing. You can see that he is clearly very talented, and we'll get into that as the show goes on. Now, Tyrone, introduce yourself. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm doing well. How yourself? How about you?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Alright.
I'm just holding it out.
Which is right.
Tyrone, glad to have you on the show. I've been trying
Hey,
to get in contact with you regarding something like this for a long time, but we're finally here, and that's good.
yes. That's the good part. We're finally here, Matty.
Yes, and because I wanted to find out some things about how you operate, because we had a conversation years ago, and you decided to make some changes in your life, and we don't have to get into that right now because I think it was regarding school, and that's not what we're talking about right now. But
Yeah.
conducting businesses involves big changes, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get right into the questions right now. So
Alright.
you have 2 online businesses, right?
Yes, sir. 2 online businesses currently operating, Jobs IQ and Vivid Ad Marketing.
Okay, and you still have a 9 to 5 adding to that, right?
Yeah. Yes. I still have 95 adding to that. As soon as the business scale enough, then by 95, hello full-time business.
Yeah, so that's what we promote on this side on the Business Motivation Podcast. I just
Yes.
want to say congratulations on your recent marriage. I hope you're enjoying life.
Yes, man, definitely. I have to enjoy it. It's a blessing. It's God sent, so I am thankful for it. Definitely.
Amen, brother. Personal shout out to Giovanni Maddox as well.
Yes.
The star for the last episode, Link will be in the description for the last episode. Yes, he recently got married as well. Totally forgot to shout him out about it, but hopefully he'll watch this and he'll get his proper props.
Watch out.
Yes. So let's get into the questions now.
All right.
So you have 2 businesses, right? But which one did you start off with first? And how did you come up with the idea of this business?
So I started off with Jobs IQ first. As it relates to how I came up with the idea, well, the company really is one that does resumes, cover letters, and interviews, mock interviews for persons who are applying for jobs all over the place. So that is where as the basis of the business. Where it came from, I've always had this passion for writing, and always had this. I've always known it. Yeah. So what you realize is that when it relates to resumes and cover letters, your writing skills have a lot to do with it. So I've always had this passion, this drive for writing. I'm also a blogger. I have my own blog, and I also write for other blogs as well. So it just came naturally to say that how do you use this talent then that you have to have it placed in a business format. So use it to make some funds, you know. So I remember the day when we started. It was actually about January, January of this year actually. The
Oh,
thought came to me and I like, hey, let's put this into a business model, and let's see what comes from it.
all right, brilliant. I think it was Jordan Peterson who says one of the most powerful things you can do is to write. So it's good to see that you have been using this talent of yours to make some
Mhm.
funds. And I have noticed your talent. I remember you doing poems. You write poems, right?
Yes, I do write a lot of poems. So
Yes, and you have some good bars in there.
my
Yeah.
ah, oh boy, thank you, Martin. I appreciate that.
Right. And there's another thing I noticed too. Jobs like you did a seminar the other day with a well-known recruiter. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
That was a powerful seminar that we did with Mr. Andrew Fairman. He is the CEO of Talent Box Caribbean, top recruiter, headhunter in Jamaica, and the value that he brought to the seminar was just paramount. And we also had former journalist, PRO, Miss Candice Knight, who led out in um, a session for communication, improving the communication skills. As it relates to Mr. Fairman, though, he spoke about building your personal brand and just, going out there as a young person, professional young person, building your personal brand and just marketing yourself properly. That was a powerful segment, seminar that we did, Matthew, and I tell you, the responses that we got from it, people have been asking when we're going to have when we're going to have it again. So one session, part two coming up soon, definitely.
All right, you heard it here first on the Business Motivation podcast. Part two is coming up for that soon. Wow, I'm glad to see that it has had a good impact, especially on the
Mhm.
youth, because in this day and age, the youth need something to encourage them, and
Absolutely.
I'm really proud of you in that sense that you're doing something that can make a difference. And I think there comes a point in our lives where we all want to make a difference, if it's even a small difference, right?
Yeah,
And I'm glad that you're doing that, and I hope the business continues. Yes, of course.
yeah,
Part two is
definitely,
coming.
definitely, definitely.
Okay, so what about vivid ad marketing? Tell me the story behind this one.
Vivid ad marketing. There is a favorite saying of mine that the quicker you learn, the quicker you earn. And that is where vivid ad marketing came from. It was like, what is it that you can learn in a, that doesn't take 4 years at
Okay.
university, but is also needed in this time that we're living in as a business model. All right. Firstly, when we started off with Vivid ad marketing, it was mainly focused on creating um, creating animated videos for clients, for anyone, a business, anyone who needs animated video, whether it is for sales or whether it's for an explainer video. So that's where it started out at first. It then expanded into social media marketing. All right. So as it relates to the animation, we partner with a few persons who are experts in the animation process. Myself, where I'm involved with that, I take on the script writing, the onboarding. I take on the voiceovers at times, and if needed, I would also outsource the voiceovers for those animated videos as well. As it relates to the digital marketing, social media marketing, right now we are solely focused per se, at least right now, solely focused on doing social media marketing for accounting professionals, CPAs, and bookkeeping firms as well. And the reason I went into that space is because I have been working in that space for a little while. So the whole accounting, the whole finance, bookkeeping, I've been a bookkeeper as well. So I kind of know the industry, know what is needed in the industry. So I just add two things together. I found a niche, which is the CPAs, accountants, and bookkeepers, because have experience in that, and I also have the skill of digital marketing, whether it is social media management, social media advertising, running audits on your social media and creating for you strategic approaches to go ahead and be successful on social media. And yeah, so that is basically it for Vivid and Martin.
Wow, that was a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
So can you repeat that thing you said? The faster you learn, the faster you earn. That's what you said.
Faster you earn. Definitely, definitely. I don't remember his full name, but his last name is Quick, Kwik. He's the one who made that quote, and when I heard it, I was like, it's a powerful quote because
Very
at
powerful.
the end of the day, what do you want to do, Mike? You want to earn money,
Yeah.
and like, hey, if you can learn fast, you can earn fast.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, your kind of field is very important for this day and age because
Yeah.
the COVID pandemic era has really made us more digital. Even someone like me who,
Mhm.
I don't really know much about computers and stuff. I
Yeah.
started doing infotech in like third form.
You're the businessman, man. You are the businessman. So that's fine. That's
So,
okay.
so now I'm here doing a podcast. So even somebody like me
Yeah.
will have to get more in tune with the technology. And
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen your talent, based on the animations that we saw in the intro. If you want, you can just go back and watch it. Those who are watching, yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, I think you're doing great. I mean, based on the product that I see, and
Mhm.
this is what I always tell people who ask me about business. One of the main things I tell them is that the product will speak for itself, right?
Truly.
Yes, you should advertise the product and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense you advertise, and the product is not that
Mhm.
good. It's gonna be a big disappointment. Can you imagine? I log on to I call you up for Vivid ad marketing and say, yes, I want an animation and you need to
Yeah.
put that and that in it. Cause I see the nice ad that you have, and they say, yes, man. And then the finished product is something boring. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, definitely
Exactly.
can have that.
So you've been doing really well so far, but the question is now, we have
Mhm.
2 online businesses and a 9 to 5.
Mhm.
How do you balance the whole thing? Because you're
Oh,
still you're still young. I know you're still full of energy, but that still sounds a
yeah.
bit stressful, even for a young man like you.
It is. It is. It is, Matthew. Started, uh, when I started Vivid Ad, I was already having, some good amount of um, clients coming in for Jobs IQ. Was doing resumes and cover letters for them, doing interview preps for them as well. And I wanted to completely change gear in a sense, but a friend of mine said to me, "Have you earned your first million from that business as yet?" I'm like, "No, obviously not." They're like, "Okay, so keep going at it until you earn your first million, and then you see if you want to continue." So I'm still aiming for that one. I believe the job like. But away from that though, when the idea came to me about for vivid ad marketing, the the first thing I knew that I wanted to do, away from getting the business plan and layout to see exactly what we're going to offer, how we're going to offer it. The next thing that I needed to do was to create a website. And let me tell you, Matthew, I did not have money to call a web designer or anything like that. So literally, when I went to work. Sometime because of how things were with my former job back then, when I was doing just started Vivid, I would go to work at 7 a.m. in the morning, and then at about 4:30, 5 o'clock thereabout, I reach home and I do what I need to do, and between the hours of 9 p.m. to sometimes up to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I am
Wow.
up doing the design for the website, going through the website. The website that is there right now has had a couple of phases of development, and that was completely done by myself. Um, that I learned. That I learned as well. And
Wow.
I think the design, just the layout and the interface, the user interface of the website will speak for itself to the amount of work that was put in. But as it relates to overall handling both businesses as is right now, um, the only thing that hasn't made it totally stressful is that as it relates to as it relates to Vivid, the clientele, we're still working on clientele. All
Okay.
right. Yeah, so we're still working on clientele, and because of that, the handling the jobs, handling my 9 to 5, handling jobs IQ and Vivid hasn't been too stressful right now. But I'm just still grateful to the fact that I had the mental capability in a way to say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to work on, this is what I'm going to keep working on until it becomes a success.
Awesome. Awesome. And I think it was, yes, Gio last week
Yeah.
saying that, don't give up. And, I see
Uh,
that you have that the same spirit. And, so do I. Um,
yes, yes.
I don't know if my spirit is as strong as yours or if yours is as strong as mine. We don't know. But the idea is to have that spirit, Do
Yeah,
not give. And
definitely.
I always tell people who ask me, I mean, even if, because let's just be real, they say like
Mm-hmm.
9 out of 10 business fail. Um, but even if the first business idea that you have fails,
Mm-hmm.
use it as a learning experience to adapt and to create something else, because that can happen. I would tell people a story of how Motorola started.
Yeah,
That company was producing appliances first, but they failed with that, and then they started producing phones,
yeah.
and then they started making money off phones. So you can never know. So when you fail at something, it doesn't mean it is final. As Gio said last time in episode 1,
That is not final.
it's not
Yeah,
final.
remember
You have,
that.
you have to think and go back to
Yeah.
the drawing board, as people would say, and
Mm.
come up with a new idea from that mistake. Look at where you did things wrong, and you look at what the market is asking for, stuff like that, and you come
Matthew,
again.
you are so right. You are
Exactly.
totally right there. I'm just gonna add a bit here as it
Or
relates to as it you have to learn how to pivot, because if you don't learn how to pivot, you're gonna say, okay, this is not for me. I'm failing at this.
Hey, hold on, before
But
we go any
sometimes
further, hold on. What exactly does pivoting mean? Because maybe some people
pivoting.
don't know.
Oh yeah, man. Pivoting is just sitting down, assessing the circumstances of the business, assessing the market, and seeing if what you have, if the market needs what you have, or also if how you're packaging what you have, if the market needs it in that form of packaging. And with your research, do your market research, you do some go on Google and see what is trending on Google. Go on Google Trends and see, okay, this is what is trending. Sometimes I think that people start businesses um, because they know that they are good at something
Mm-hmm.
and not because there is research done to see what the market needs. Sometimes you're only fulfilling the need that you think is out there and not actually what the market actually needs. All right. So when you have that first business idea and it's not working out, I really do think that you should just reassess, reassess, and then come again, either with a new packaging, a new business model, or a total new business idea overall. But always keep going.
That's right. I mean, people wouldn't really notice, but this thing that I'm doing now is like I rebranded about 3 times.
Yeah.
People probably didn't even notice that. But yes, I rebranded about 3 times because what I was doing first, you know, nobody was really listening. Like, I was saying, oh, what am I doing wrong? And
Yeah.
so I realized that one of the things that you can do, based on what I've read, is to highlight other people. And that's what I'm doing now. This is one of the things I'm doing now. And so
Yeah.
I just want you guys who are listening to take a lesson from us who have started something. Yes, we haven't made our first million from the business yet. But you have to keep going at it because let's just be real. Some businesses take 1, 2, 3, 4 years to start making anything. But you have to
True.
keep that mindset within, you know, your thoughts that you're not gonna give up and you're gonna go for this. Um, no, you said you have a 9 to 5 and you have the businesses.
Mhm.
So when it comes down to investing in business, is it that you use savings from the 9 to 5 and invest in the business, or 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 what? Explain how. Wait, explain the process.
Um, but every money that I've used to either get a website going, because at the end of the day, there's so much design that you can do. You still have to pay hosting fee for a website. You still have to buy a domain as well. Um, Also, as relates to advertising as well. All that money really came from money from 95. So 95 is really what helped pivot these businesses really. Uh, so you can't just immediately dash through the 95. You know,
Exactly.
you have to ensure that you reach a level of sustainability with your business before you're able to say, so, okay, I no longer need a 95. I haven't reached there as yet, so hence I still continue with my 95. Um, yeah, man, but as it relates to investment, Matthew, like every single cent that has been invested in the business so far came from 95.
All right. And yes, I'm in full agreement with that. And that's what I would tell you, advise people to do as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
in order to run a business, you need money, especially if you want to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want
Yep.
it to stay one place and don't allow it to grow, well, no investment is needed. But if you want to improve it and to build it into something, you have
Mm-hmm.
to invest. And patience in this case is also a virtue because you can't be impatient because this process might take longer than you might want it to take.
Yep.
to transition from the 9 to 5 towards the business. It might
Yeah,
take a while, and you might start to lose patience, but do not lose patience. Because especially in a third world country like Jamaica, when
yeah,
jobs are hard to get, and you know, you can't be throwing away a 9 to 5 if you have one.
definitely.
All
Definitely.
right, all right, Tyrone, we've been having a good discussion so far, but I do want you to leave us with some bits of information. You talk about preparing resumes and preparing people for interviews. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't have to tell everything, but what are a few tips that you would tell an individual, a client, about preparing for an interview or resume writing?
All right. So I am going to leave a few tips on all three of those. Um, because at the end of the day, if you even look at my social media pages, one of the things that I normally do is to give away information. Because yes, you're gonna have persons who just want to do it by themselves and they just need a few details on how to do it. And I have no problem with that. I will share the information, even though I would rather you come to me and pay me for it. But sharing the information out there is definitely important as well. As it relates to a resume, always be specific as it relates to a resume when applying for a position at a particular company. Always tailor the resume so that it is very specific to that company. Whether it is an objective or professional statement, have it so tailored to the company that as they look at the resume, what they're seeing is someone who wants to not just work for them, but actually help them to build their their business, their company. And what you want to do in a resume, I've always, I just gave these few tips the other day, is to certain things that you want to leave out of a resume. One, you want to leave out those hobbies. I've gotten a lot of resumes. People have a lot of hobbies, what they like to do, and um, it is not meant to be harsh in any way, but recruiters don't care at this point in the recruiting process about your hobbies. I mean, later on, you can play volleyball. Yeah, they might want you to join the company volleyball squad, which is great. So those type of things you leave out. Secondly, as it relates to soft skills, people always just overemphasize soft skills. Recruiters don't want to see too many soft skills because to them it's almost like a sham that you put so many soft skills on your resume. Go ahead and put on some hard skills. Tell them that you're able to do this particular thing. You're able to do analytics. You're able to run some data analysis through whatever software that is. Tell them the hands-on things that you're able to do. So I'm going to leave it there for the resumes as it relates to cover letters. Um, Also be specific in
Right.
the cover letters. Yeah, that's one of the main things. People tend to throw away cover letters, and it's just so weird. Let me just share this. It's just so weird also that I've gotten persons who just want a cover letter for me to do for them. Just today, Matthew, someone from the US contacted me, asking me to do a cover letter for them, and yeah, just that's I got paid to do a cover letter for them, and but it just show you how important the cover letter is. So you have to pay attention to to your cover letters. You have to ensure that it is properly it has an order, a chronological order as to what you're speaking about, and it shows also your personality. Even though I try to write a couple letters for people, one of the things that I normally do is get a taste of how they write or how they sound and what their personality is and try to bring out that personality in the resume as well, in the cover letter as well.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, man. So it's a whole it's the production of a resume and a cover letter. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process, really, Matthew. And that is why it's really really important. Interview wise, even if you are not a confident person, try to fake the confidence for a little while. Try to fake the confidence for a little while. Because if you go in there, you're shake, you're nervous, it's not going to look good on you. It's not going to look good on you. And one of the things with interviews as well, try to be as precise as possible when asked a question. Don't try to ramble off and be tangent when asked a question. Try to be specific when you are asked a particular question in an interview. So that's what I'm going to leave with you guys for now.
Right. Very, very informative words there. And of course, if you want to know more about it, you can always contact him and go on his social media. Links will be in the description. Wow, Tyrone, very good speaking to you tonight. A lot of information, a lot of advice.
Yeah.
This is where you can get these kind of things on the Business Motivation Podcast. All right. Local business owners, founders, making a name for themselves, starting something, encouraging you to do the same. So before we close off the show, Tyrone, do you have any closing remarks that you want to say to the audience?
Yeah, definitely. Since we are speaking directly to local upcoming entrepreneurs,
Right.
I do believe that one of the pathways out of poverty, which most of Jamaica is in right now, is through getting involved or getting an idea that can be turned into a business, and then working that business, giving it your all until it turns into a success. I will reiterate what Gio said last time on the podcast. Never give up. Never give up. Try until you try. And when you don't try, I feel like that is it with your business. It flat, it not going nowhere. Try again. Continue trying. So that is it. That is it for me. Find something that you love to do, but make sure that it is not just what you love to do, but what there is market out there for.
Right. Thank you very much, Tyrone, for taking the time out to be on episode 2 of the Business Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Farquharson, the Business Motivator. Of course, links will be in the description to Tyrone's social media, and links will be in the description to my social media and website as well. So, this is it for another episode of the Business Motivation Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a good evening. All right? Remember, always stay motivated.